Baruch Hashem, and Be'ezus Hashem Yisbarach, starting a new year, a new sidra of Maimorim and thoughts about Shabbos. You have to understand, for those of you who are new, and for those of you who are old, to remind yourself that the most important Yom Tiv in a Jew's life is Shabbos. Not Rosh Hashanah, not Yom Kippurim, wonderful, Pesach, not Shavuos, Shabbos. It's the only Yom Tiv, Moyed, that you cannot go more than 7 days without. You could have 1 day Yom Kippur, 1 day Pesach, 1 Yom Tov of Pesach, 8 days. Shabbos, you can't go 7 days without Shabbos. Halacha is if you're in the Midbar and you don't even know when Shabbos is. Shabbos is so important that you have to count 7 days and you keep Shabbos. It's a joke. It's not Shabbos. You have to keep Shabbos. Now, what is so important about Shabbos? You get a rest once every 7 days? So, for those of you who are old over here, and have heard many, many things about Shabbos, if somebody would ask you, what is the avodah of Shabbos? What would you say? In 2 words, in 1 word. You. Okay? What would you say, Yaakov Shim? What's the avodah of Shabbos? Mayor? No, nothing here is false, but you've heard it from me. Haidah la Hashem Yisbarach. Close doors. That is the avodah of Shabbos, is to give haidah to Hashem Yisbarach. Mizmor shir liyom HaShabbos. Toiv la haidah la Hashem. Now, the way you're moida, if you're moida, you get close to Hashem. If you're moida, you machazik the emunah in Hashem. If you learn Torah, you definitely moida to Hashem. But the avodah of Shabbos is to be moida la Hashem, toiv la hoida la Hashem. So what you're supposed to do if you're in the midbar and you're stuck 7 days, you stop the 7th day and you give hoida to Hashem. That's what you do. Now the question is, okay, hoida to Hashem. What is the one positive mitzvah that everybody knows about Shabbos? Shabbos doesn't have many positive mitzvahs. It has many loisases, but it has very few positive mitzvahs. So what is the positive mitzvah of Shabbos? Okay, and let's give me the famous one. That's what I was saying. What's the positive mitzvah? Victor, do you know? You don't know? You do, you know. Avi? Einik Shabbos. I think even kids know that. You know that, right? You heard about Einik Shabbos? Einik Shabbos. But you have to understand that Oinig Shabbos is the secret of Hoidah on Shabbos. The whole purpose of being Ma'anig the Shabbos is to be Mechazik and to lead you to Hoidah. If the Oinig doesn't lead you to Hoidah, it's not Oinig of Shabbos. It's Oinig of your beten. And it gets you away from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Gets you away from being moided to Hashem. You want to be moided to your mouth and to your hands, that you could eat and eat and eat and eat. Now, who steht das? So there is a Radak. You have to remind yourself, every Shabbos remind yourself, because I'm telling you, forget it. You can hear it from me 1,000 times. It's not nichnas. Goes in one ear, falls out that ear, goes another ear. The Pasuk says in Yeshaya, Perik Nun Tes, the Koroso l'Shabbos Oinik. So the Radak says as follows: Mitzvahs asay la'aneg haguf b'yoyim HaShabbos. It's a mitzvah asay to be ma'anig the guf on Yom HaShabbos. B'ma'acholim arevim v'toivim. Gishmakim acholim and good macholim. I suppose you can have a ravim and not toivim. You can have toivim and not a ravim. You have to have both. A ravim v'toivim. Shemitoich sheyishanehu mishar yomim l'toiv. Because al yedei, the fact that you're going to change your behavior, your food, from the rest of the week, you're going to upgrade it on this day. Yizkor ma'aseh bereishis. You're going to remember ma'aseh bereishis. Visha hakel chidshoy me'ayin, and that Hashem created it from nothing. Vishavas b'yom hashvi. So the process of coming to Hoidah is as follows. You eat delicious food that Hashem commanded you. You say, who's commanded me? Why am I eating this delicious fish? Why am I eating these delicious dips? Because I was commanded to. Who commanded me? Hashem. Who's Hashem? He's the one who created Ma'aseh Bereishis, the one who created the world Yesh Me'ayin, and he rested Shabbos. Umitoich kach Yishabeach Lokel. Through this, you're going to be Mishabeach Hashem. V'yifaru, and you will glorify Him. Befiv ubilvavoy, in your mouth and in your heart. You hear that? And v'tisaneg nafshay. When you do that, it's going to lead you to have an oinig aruchniistic tainuk. Not only it starts with a physical tainuk. Hanos, he calls an oinig haguf, la'anig haguf. That leads you to Hoidah LaHashem. So if you're in your house and you eat the food and it doesn't lead you to Oinig LaHashem, it leads you to complain to your wife, or it leads you to fight with your wife, or it leads you to who knows what, fall asleep, that means you're not fulfilling the mitzvah of Oinig Shabbos. Remember this, Rabbi Yisrael, this is the Aleph. Everything else is commentary. All the other discussions are built upon this. What Hoidah means? Showed you Rashi and Saita that Hoidah means becoming midubak, becoming attached to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what Hoidah is. Isaiah was attached to HaKadosh Baruch Hu 24 hours a day. He was singing His praises all day long. Every minute he wasn't learning, he was singing Hashem's praises. But the avoid of Shabbos, so people will go home and they're not mishabeach with their mouth, and they're not mefoyer HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they don't glorify HaKadosh Baruch Hu after they eat a good meal. It's good to essen. Geschmack Shabbos, with a tam Shabbos, in a regal atmosphere, in a matzav of a chassan, everybody's dressed in the finest, tables set the finest. Hopefully not being mevaza Hashem by serving these cheap white paper plates or something. And you're trying to mishabeach Hashem for a glorious day with glorious bifanim. And you're stalling a vek, stalling a tishavek. You know what that is? That's the avodah of Shabbos. Rabbi say, this is the Aleph. You go home tonight, every one of you, and do this. Don't give avodah to Hashem before you're ma'anik the guf. That's the wrong seder. You're supposed to first be ma'anik the guf. And while you're being ma'anik the guf, say, wow, this is geschmack. And you think, how many dips there are, all different chidushim, nefloim that are created from all natural products. All natural products. And there's dogim. You make different types of dogim in your house. You think Hashem created not one dog? If Hashem would create one dog, you'd be very satisfied. One dog is enough. You just created salmon, I'm happy. Or if you just created gefilte fish, I'm happy. No. So this fish, that fish, mamish, harbe mini dog. When you think of each thing, and you make shidduchim, you make zivugim with all the different foods, you mix certain foods together, and you get as well as the floys the gechedushim. It's all time. And then HaKadosh, you have to think Hashem created within yourself a system. Hashem had to install such a highly technological, complex system that your mouth should be able to respond to every different taste. Toich kedei dibur. Unbelievable. Really should be like when you put something in your mouth, that's it. Then you're stuck with that taste now for a while. Then you should go, finish that, go to fancy chasanas, they serve you ices between the courses to wash out your palate. Any wine guy, professional wine tasters will tell you, you never eat sharp food. You can enjoy sharp foods because it ruins his taste buds, dulls his taste buds. To keep them sharp, to taste the peach and the blueberries. You ever read about it says in a bottle of wine, you think, what? This guy must have been smoking something serious. The guy made up his chidushim over here. You try it. It tastes like sweet grapes to you, understand to him, or it tastes like vinegar, but one of the two, and this guy is really choliming what the cholim is he had already. Okay. But the nakuda that a person has to think about, Oinik Shabbos is lahaydais laHashem, to sing. That's the whole idea of Zamrula. Ki toiv. We sing to Hashem because it's toiv. Hashem is toiv. That's what we like to sing. Some families like to sing. I remember going to a modern Orthodox family, they were singing. I was shocked. What are you singing about? I said, well, I asked my father, why do you sing? He said, we like to sing. I said, okay. Some people go, who knows what to sing? Some Schwarzes get together and they sing, and you get the end, you sing. I say, you know why you sing on Shabbos? Do you ever wonder why you sing on Shabbos? He says, no, I never. I'd like to sing all week long, he tells me. I said, you know why you sing? We sing on Shabbos because we sing to Hashem. Because Shabbos is a day to sing about the Tuvah of Hashem. That is the avodah of Shabbos. And if you get stuck in the desert, you forget when Shabbos is, you have to stop every 7 days and sing about the Tevos of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let us have a good Shabbos. Let us go home and do it. Those of you who don't give Haidah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, change your behavior. I'm guaranteeing you one thing. If you'll be minded to Hashem, that's going to open up a shefa bracha for you. Because I know, and you know, if you do a favor for somebody and the person is very thankful, very appreciative, you know what? You want to give that person more thanks. And the person who's a kafui taiv, Gives you a face. That's all you give. You're not makir toiv. You know what you say? I'm finished with you. You're off my list. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu has such toiv. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a oitzus of toiv, cold toiv shebayla. That's Gash, Mr. Ketan. You thank Hashem. Think about what HaKadosh Baruch Hu did for this week. Think about upheavals. Families, children die. You know how easy for your child to die? Like a snap of a finger. Hashem was shomer amo Yisrael. Every one of your kids you watch. Any kid go to the dentist? You don't go to the dentist, you end up with no heart in 2 weeks, with a virus in your eye and you're finished. You walk down the street, you're a geschmack bacher, decent looking bacher, a put together bacher, you're walking down the street, next thing you know where you are. Take it for granted. Take it for granted. How many accidents were there? How many hospitals were full with you? How many machlis? Hashem saved you. You have to thank Hashem, He's kept you home. Even if you have to go to the dentist, no one enjoys it. It's a break in the week, a very unpleasant thing. You have to take a kid to the doctor. If you thank Hashem that you don't have to take the kid to the doctor this week, maybe in the winter you want to take the kid to the doctor. But what happens is you go through a whole summer, and Hashem doesn't make you go to the doctor, most situations. You never thanked Hashem for that. All of a sudden Hashem wakes you up, and your kid has to go to the doctor. The wife says, maybe you take him to the doctor. No, you take him to the doctor. Then we should go both to the doctor. No, let's fight about this. If it comes nacham achloikis, who's taking to the doctor? No, listen. So thank Hashem, so you never have to go to the doctor. I believe I went to the doctor very, very little with my kids. Almost never. Because I always appreciated not having to go to the doctor. So I say, Chaparayim, thank Hashem. Any week I don't thank Hashem, I'm telling you, I always suffer repercussions. Any week I forget, Hashem reminds me that week that I put the clapping cup. It's fail safe. If it's a foolproof program. I was like, you better thank Hashem, otherwise you go away someplace sometimes. You go away to the family, you better thank Hashem. You want to have a good week? This is the insurance here. So if I say, join the program, get a piece of the rack, have Shabbat, ma'anik the Shabbos, and do the avodah of Shabbos, the way it's supposed to be.